Hey, I'm Greaser with Dorman Products. I'm here with Nick, and today we're talking about air filters, the different types you're going to see out there, some things to know about each of them, and the pros and cons. So let's get started.
So today we're going to talk about the three main types of filters. First being a regular paper filter, second being a gauze and oil filter, and third being an oil bath filter.
And I think it's only right that we start with the paper filter, because that is what the vast majority of cars on the road today are using. So this filter is going to take on a few different shapes, sizes. You'll see all sorts of stuff out there, but they all share this pleated paper filter medium. And then around that is going to be some kind of rubber gasket or form that helps it seal to the airbox. So what are these filters good at, Nick?
Well, a paper air filter is going to have very good filtration. It's going to probably last the longest. Best part about it is that it's economical. It's cheap to change, usually really quick to change, and probably the only downside is the flow. I mean, it's manufactured to meet the specifications for the vehicle, but it could flow better.
Yeah, that's going to be the trade-off, I think, with that all of these filters are navigating. How much airflow do you want? How much filtration do you want? And I think for most people, you want good filtration and enough airflow to keep the engine happy. But beyond that, it doesn't need to be anything crazy. Definitely putting the focus on filtering things out of the air, keeping it out of your engine is going to be what most people want out of an air filter. I think this is going to be that Goldilocks option.
Absolutely.
Well, with that said, maybe let's move on to the oil and gauze filter, which is a little bit more exciting, and that's because this is something mostly seen in the performance world.
Yeah, so an oil and gauze air filter is going to give you maximum flow, and it's also serviceable. So when it gets dirty, rather than having to throw it away and replace it, there is a cleaning solution that you can clean it out, re-oil it, and get it right back into service.
Sure. And that's going to come at a bit of a premium. So an oil and gauze air filter is going to cost more than a paper air filter because of that reserviceability, because it has more complicated materials involved. And sometimes maybe you're paying a little bit for a brand name too. One
of the great benefits is improved airflow, which improved airflow comes with improved fuel economy. So these are all the types of things that you take into consideration when you gain those type of efficiencies. You save in the long run.
Let's be real, there are some other benefits that come with these that are just fun. If you like intake noise, this is going to be a pretty good option for you. You can hear the engine breathing a little bit more. And they also look pretty cool in certain applications. You're building a car, you've got some big K&N style filters hanging off of some turbos. That looks pretty cool.
Yeah, not only that, if you're doing other modifications and you have other things in your engine bay, this will clean it up. It'll take the factory corrugated air tube that really doesn't flow as well and replace it with like an aluminum air tube with this filter on the end, and you're getting all those benefits. You're getting a clean looking engine bay, you're getting better flow, you're getting better fuel mileage, and you get to hear your engine.
Yeah, we should also mention that this is also an oil and gauze air filter. Even though it looks like a paper air filter, you can get them like this as a drop-in replacement for your factory unit if you want to switch without getting rid of all your original airbox equipment. Well, with all of that said about these very interesting air filters, I think it's time to move on to the strangest one here. That's our oil bath air cleaner. These you don't really see too much these days. Have you ever had one roll into your bay?
Nah, I don't see any of these in the shop. I think by the time I became a tech, they were pretty long extinct.
Yeah, so these were found on quite a few different trucks back in the day, or maybe most famously the Volkswagen Beetle, which is what this guy's from. So tell us a little bit about how the oil bath air cleaner works, Nick.
Yeah, so basically the air enters this box and it is forced to run through the oil, up and back out of the filter. So it's going to catch any type of large particles or dust or anything. It's going to probably be the best filtering method, although maybe flow is not
right. not a high flow Volkswagen Beetle. Yeah, I guess if I had to drive through a desert or something like that, I'd be pretty interested in an oil bath just for its sheer ability to pull everything out of the intake charge. This design is really cool in that, like Nick said, it grabs all that junk in the air, any kind of debris or sand, grit, and just keeps it trapped down in the bottom of that tank. So you do have to change the oil in your air filter, which is kind of weird. The sludge that comes out of there is just going to be all the stuff that didn't go into your engine.
As it collects debris, it's not clogging like an air filter. So you're going to get less airflow as you drive with something like this. The airflow will always remain the same. So that is one of the benefits. I do have to say, one of the downsides is it's a messy job. You know, it's not like pulling, you know, a paper filter out and putting a new one in.
But if you're working on vehicles of that vintage, you're probably used to getting some dirt onto your fingernails anyway.
So Greaser, what is your preference?
I'm a simple man. Give me the paper filter. I have messed around with some of the oil and gauze filters. My experience for my personal needs, I find that the trusty old paper filter gets the job done, and I like that it's inexpensive, and most importantly, it's doing its job. It's pulling junk out of the air and doing a great job of filtering air. That's what I need my air filter to do.
Yeah. For me, it's a little different. It's really dependent on the vehicle. I have many different vehicles. A lot of them, you know, are for spirited driving. So for me, this is going to be my option in most cases. But for my daily driver, I am going to stick with a paper filter just because keeping it economical. That's actually out of my diesel truck, that K&N. So yeah, I have a spare and I kind of rotate them out, but I want maximum flow, and I like to hear that thing sing too.
Yeah, sure. And I gotta say, this thing has me thinking about picking up a little Volkswagen Beetle project. It's just neat to see how things used to be done and some of the ideas that they were using back then.
That about wraps it up. I hope you guys enjoyed our talk on air filters as much as we enjoy talking about it. Head on over to Shop Press, check out our other videos, and please drop in the comments what air filter you use and why. For Dorman Products, I'm Nick, and this is Greaser. We'll see you next time.